from these auctions that they have over here about once a month. It seems to me that if you're going to have a committee, and this is on the agenda every month, park committee, there's never anybody that gives any kind of accounting for that park committee.
Well, along those lines, I disagree with you because Barb has some really good records.
I'm not saying that you don't have good records. I'm saying that those records are not reported to this meeting, in the public meeting. I've been here and I asked that that be done, and all of the trustees agreed, and nobody enforces it.
I agree with you. I'll make sure it happens.
Well, it hasn't.
But we are in limbo with our park committee. Got one back here, Betty.
Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, that's what I said. And they all agreed to it.
I've never had a card from Lowe's. I never got anything down the Lowe's from Logan Township, only except 2 gallons of silver paint, 2 gallons of orange paint, and I painted the guardrails. And when I was painting open woods, the guy stopped and said, "Betty, you're doing a good job. It sure looked nice." So if you mention my name on there, I have never had a card from Logan Township and no charge nowhere. And if you think I did, well, we can get an attorney because I have got one. Because you accusing me.
No, sir.
I'm going down there and getting stuff.
No, sir.
You just told my name on there.
No,
You
sir.
said Jenkins. My name is Jenkins.
Yes, sir.
Jenkins.
Yes, sir. It's the right person. To clarify.
That kind of got me something in that chair because you think I was out here and got stuff.
No, don't tell me what I think. That's not what I think.
I have never had a card from them.
I never said anything about cards. The way it works, Jim, your name is at Lowe's. You walk in Lowe's, represent the township.
You know how I got on there? They only give me the card to get the paint.
I'm not saying it
And
shouldn't
then
have
we
been
took
on
the
there.
greeter down there. That's how I got on there.
I'm not saying it shouldn't be on. It shouldn't be on there now. I understand you
Take
quit.
it off of there, buddy. I want it off there. I might be down myself.
That's my point. That's all
Get
it
it off of
is.
there. I don't want it on there.
Okay, well, yeah, I think you're arguing with something that's a non-issue, Jim.
Well, I think you better watch my statements and when you call me my names out too. That's an issue to me. You use my name in public, thinks I'm a crook.
No, I don't think they do, Jim.
We don't.
Got Whittle here. Go ahead, Whittle.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I think you missed the whole point of what she's trying to say, and I think you really should rethink that issue about part-time on-call employees, about having enough of them on hand, because had you taken the steps that she had brought up, you wouldn't have to worry about a quick emergency type hiring people without telling the whole township about what's going on. There's no reason you couldn't have 7, 8, 9, 10 people on a list.
Hindsight's 2020. We should have did that, but we didn't.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to argue with you about it. I'm just saying it could have been avoided had there been an open invitation for people in the township to put their name on a list, on an alternate list, let's say. You don't have to call them. There's no reason in the
You know what's
world.
gonna happen then?
What's that?
You know what's gonna happen if we have a list? Somebody's gonna say, "Well, you pick them over me," or "You guys are picking and choosing."
Well, that's
What's gonna happen?
why you really should have a policy on that, which you don't have a policy. But have a policy, have a list always available for somebody to go on, and then you just keep moving them up. What's so hard about that? But it would have solved that problem. That's all I'm saying, and I think that was a very good point to bring up. We could have 7, 8, 9, 10 right now, if you really chose to. So if 2 or 3 or 4 quit all at one time, you'd have other people available. So you can solve that problem.
Okay, thank
You don't, the other part is about the park committee. There's a bunch of things said here in the park committee that aren't really true. I was the original secretary for the park committee. There were notes available. I did them for many months, and then Vicki did them. So there were notes available. I don't know what they're doing now when I dropped off, but they were available. We did a lot of fundraisers. And as far as the mowing goes, there's a reason the mowing quit. I was on the mowing team. It's because of insurance. There was a whole issue came up about liability. You remember that?
We were cleared on that.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it stopped. It never, the list, there was a discussion about liability if somebody gets hurt, using the equipment. And then we stopped, and it never started again. So that's how actually the thing kind of went away. It just went away. It just didn't keep going.
Why didn't the park committee take care of making it?
Well, I wasn't on there anymore after that, so I don't know. So I'm just telling you, we did do it for about one season.
Like Jeff said, he did it for a season, and then it stopped, you know?
Well, I know, I don't know what happened, I wasn't
Well,
on
Don
there.
said he wanted to do it all. That's what happened. If you go back and review tapes.
But anyway, there were meeting notes, I don't know what's happening now with them. There was mowing being done, there was a lot of fundraising being done. But it kind of slowed down because of a lot of negative comments that were coming
Jeff said he
back.
has some people interested, hopefully he has some positive ways to get this going again, so maybe we can.
I'd like to see it go again, really.
Definitely. Go ahead.
I just moved in the first of the month. My name's Adam Youngkins. My wife and 2-year-old daughter just moved in. I just want to know who you guys are.
Okay.
I hear you guys saying first name, president. Right across the street right there. So I'm like, oh, Township meeting. I'm going to go my first month here.
In the White House here? Good. My name's Ben Huff.
Okay.
I live in town here up on the other end there.
Okay.
And I'm Dan Van Buren, I just live outside of
Okay.
Brownsville.
We had some name tags here that might have helped a little. I'm Jeff Chorpenning, I live on National Road, a couple miles west.
Okay.
Well, glad to see you moving town.
I'm Jenny Cabal, I live outside of the town, or outside of Townsend.
Okay.
Max Ray.
And they really are a bunch of nice people.
Go ahead.
I'm Edwin Rowe from Dogwood Lakes Homeowner Association. I'd like to thank you and Dan for the snow removal and the ice removal. You didn't have a lot, but when you're out there, we really appreciate it. Y'all been good at it, you too.
We appreciate Jeff's been out a couple times this year too. So.
I've been out every time.
He's been out a couple times.
When I'm called, I go out. When I don't get a call, I call in.
Yeah, right.
We appreciate it. Thank you. Go ahead.
Why don't you
I'll wave to you
guys,
next time, man.
for
I'll
like
get out and
new
wave.
people to move in, put your name and phone numbers on the building?
We
I had
did.
a heck of a time
We
finding.
did. We had a sign up there and it came up missing. We spoke about this.
Put it on the inside, on the
It
window.
was.
It was in the window.
It came up missing?
That's a topic that that's why I didn't sign the meeting minutes. It's one of the topics we discussed that I felt was
The
important.
every person I knew to contact was Don, that's because I knew him.
Sure.
Other than that, I didn't know who anybody was.
I know when.
There ought to be something.
Sure.
The
When
sign came up missing.
When terms changed and I took office, it was taken down. My name was never put on it. I don't know where it went. We've looked for it. Can't find it.
Well, I think that's something you guys ought to really
How was I
put back
supposed to
up.
call them?
We'll definitely see if we can get something put up, whether it just be, you know,
Just right.
a piece of paper or whatever, but something will get put in the
Well,
window.
that's all you need.
Definitely. Definitely. Go ahead.
I got a question, I guess, it's nothing, as you know, my kids are the ones who have the house that was hit by Big Ed.
Okay.
And that I mentioned it, it is finished, nothing legal has been done other than it has been finished in court. We brought up tonight about the steps of a variance.
Okay.
I need to know the process, is there paperwork we can do? Everyone has voted that they cannot rebuild their house. So Dad's gonna give them a spot. We've contacted the county.
Sure.
The county is, for every 100 foot, or every foot of road frontage, 3 foot in depth. And that's from the county.
So I need those numbers back.
So if you get 100 foot, you get 3. So,
Right.
That's something you probably need to talk to Barbara
well,
about.
what is there paperwork? I mean,
You need
what
to
I'm
talk to
asking, I
Barbara.
need the procedure to follow because.
You can see her. She'll see you after the meeting. That's
I didn't get
fine.
to call you back because I was working.
Oh, okay. I mean, I just didn't know, I mean, I didn't know if to go take her or talk to her, or if there was paperwork to do.
Sure.
We will, because they,
The process is supposed to be within 20 days, and I hope the board does what they can to expedite it.
there is no time limit, because they really haven't been settled. I mean, it is done in court, but it's never done until you have
You're right.
money.
You're right. Exactly.
If you have an
Once they
estimated build date that you're looking towards, a month,
First, they gotta get the house tore down, they have to get money in hand. Everything takes the check.
Are they gonna build out here by you?
They're gonna, yeah, I have 50 acres, so they're gonna build. Dad's gonna give, I mean, there just wasn't much there.
Sure.
They're, I mean, it's just can't rebuild where they're at, so there's gonna be quite a financial burden. So Dad's gonna help them out.
what size lot are you looking at since you're talking about variance?
It's, well, from the way that it lays, we're gonna do about 100 by 3, which is what the count, that's what the county says that's the limit. I mean,
3-to-1 ratio.
3 to 1. So, and you can't go over 300. which they told us. So we're gonna go 100 by 3. And it works real well for the lot we're gonna put him on anyway, because you won't see him. So it's not like they're building a home. It's a Wayne home, so there's actually a stick home that they're building. It's not a trailer, it's not a module. But we just need the process. I need to know how to start the process with them. And I
I'll talk to her about
will do.
Awesome,
Thank you.
thank you. Anybody else?
Yeah, I do them.
G252.
I have tried several times to get onto the official website, and is it still down, or do you know what the?
It's up, I was on it today.
Yeah, I just
Okay.
yesterday.
Did you go to, did you go to the one that's on the agenda, and it's .org, not .?
Mhm.
Okay, it was up today, I was
Okay.
on it.
Well, it hasn't been for like 2 months, and so.
Every time I've gone, I've been up,
Okay.
so I
So
don't.
that was one, and another question I had was, and I noticed that Barb said she had to use the bathroom, but didn't want to use this bathroom. And I know at some point you guys were starting to remodel. Is that still on the agenda? Because frankly,
Sure.
no one wants to
We
use
looked
that
at,
bathroom.
taking that wall out, but I think it's a block wall in between,
Jeff and I were actually just talking about this board meeting, you know, maybe do some paint or something here. When we did the insulation, it was trying to help conserve the heat in here, which is what we did. We did it in the garage too. To help, those windows are just single pane glass.
There is also a bathroom downstairs.
If there's
Yeah.
bathroom out in the garage, I don't know if you know that.
yeah, that out there, they went and made it bigger and stuff.
Sure. I mean,
Well, I mean, it's, like having public hearings and things. It's just,
sure.
you're in here instead of the other building. That was one of the comments. Also was about the appeals board situation. Since they haven't had a meeting in 3 years, are they still a legal board? Because according to the Ohio Revised Code, every board is supposed to meet at least once a year to sustain as a legal viable board.
They just met, didn't they?
Yeah,
Yeah, but they haven't met
So
for
they're
3
legal
years
now.
is what I'm saying.
We're now a board again.
yeah.
I know, but I questioned that before the
Board
meeting.
members,
I emailed Jeff and I think I
I've
mentioned that to
addressed those
Jenny also.
questions, and our legal counsel advised me that those boards needed to contact their legal contact themselves. Even though they're procedural questions, I'd suggest the board members contact Alice. She's your representative like she is ours, but we're separate entities.
They said that the trustees couldn't ask her questions about zoning appeal.
About the
Zoning appeals
boards.
would have to ask her. So.
Okay.
I got her phone number, I sent that back to you. So, where anyone on the board or
There's one in the middle of the
president can
Well,
contact.
since my being on the board was in question, I didn't call her, and so therefore, and I didn't go to the meeting or anything because I didn't want to be part of an illegal process.
That answer your question? Go ahead.
Do 3 minutes.
Didn't you want to go first?
Who first? I don't know.
Go ahead, no, go ahead.
Wait.
Sit there and wait.
That has another matter. I want to give my 3 minutes to her, huh?
Alright.
Before you told me my 3 minutes was up, which I didn't talk any longer than anyone else, so that was kind of rude. I did have something important that maybe everybody in here might want to know about, but I never had a chance to say anything about it. I have, and I'll explain to you what this is, there's been some people coming around asking people if they want to sign an oil lease. I don't know if they've come to your place, but they've come to ours. And we've got some attorneys that are having meetings, Graham and Graham, and a couple of another attorney firm that's out in Morgan County. They're having meetings and they're setting up and getting these blocks of land together and getting everybody a better deal. And if you want to get a hold of them, to talk to them, I've got all the information, but once they get this, I think they were saying something like 2,300 an acre. 2,500 an acre, so don't sign anything with these people, because all they want to do is tie up your land, and then you're stuck in a bad lease. And anybody that wants a copy of this, I've tried to hook the business card and the envelope to it. You can call them, and if we get enough people that are interested in asking them what it's about, it's like, they go down really deep, then turn sideways, some kind of what is it?
Well, isn't
Fracking,
this about the, shale?
Yeah.
And you guys don't wanna go there, trust me.
Well, the ones of you that do, you can have the papers.
They'll
but
come out here.
If they,
They'll come out to the building.
they'll come out and talk to you about it, but just because you sign up for this, doesn't mean any of this is gonna be on your property.
Right.
It could be in the center of a bunch of acres, and that person would get paid more, and if the oil just goes across your land, you get that money.
Yeah, but it's gonna ruin the groundwater.
How do you
It's
know,
already
how do you know
being-
that? All of that is in this lease,
It's
and they
already
can't do that.
happened.
To
Talk
who?
to the people up,
To who?
In
talk to the
Youngstown,
people up north there.
yeah, where the earthquakes have happened and, yeah.
Alright, well, definitely, we appreciate it. If anybody wants that, then I guess I can see.
Okay, well then, none of you want it then, right? Okay, that's fine. We'll be right there in the center of it, and you'll all be out.
You're next.
Okay, I just have two quick things.
Thank
I
you.
just am asking that, with your rules and so on, that people can't yell out that I'm calling you a liar and things like that. I think it's so childish and inappropriate and unprofessional. The second thing was, I think that we, our community is really gonna grow, especially when this economy, if hopefully it comes back up. That's already grown. I mean, look at this place is crowded now. I think we should go over to the community building and start having our township. Then you'll have to remove walls and all this other expensive stuff, save a lot of money. That's right, yeah.
We've talked about it, it's kind of on the table, we decided just to keep them in here for now, it just,
Well, I think we should eventually,
I
pretty
mean,
quick.
it's hard to tell what's not down the road, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, save money without,
I mean, hopefully this may be
remodeling
coming back
this
next
stuff.
month, but it might be fine in here.
And another thing is, the traffic out here, we can hardly hear you sometimes,
Yeah, over there you freeze to death. In fact, that's what I wanted, our next meeting is
Oh,
going to
really?
be in this building, because we could not, we finally left. There, you can't get that building
Oh, I
warm.
think
Long time to heat.
Yeah, you
Oh,
just
okay.
cannot get
Yeah.
warm.
And the heater is very loud.
Yeah, and then you can't hear.
The heater is very
Yeah.
difficult.
It's
Okay,
harder
well, I
hearing
can,
over there.
Yeah, it is. Did you sell your house? Are you still, did you sell your house?
Okay.
Is that it?
Still-
Does anybody else
Oh,
have
yeah,
comment?
okay.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Dave.
I real quick,
Sell your house.
Sure.
I did a year before last,